Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Storytellers show. I am so happy that it's Thursday and that we're here, always learning from impact-centered leaders about the power of story to ignite transformation in the world. And today I have a special guest. I only share my most special people with you, and Judy is not the exception. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Dr. Elina. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy that you're going to share with us because Judy is wise, insightful, honest. I really love everything that she stands for, and she shares practical and tangible strategies. And she is the founder of Christian Moms Prosper. She's a financial coach and she's a certified life coach, but she's also a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she has a master's of science in accountancy. So you know that it's both the academic and the lived experience, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And she helps moms of faith become consistent in their money and their money habits. We're going to talk about that to break any unproductive money cycles. I love this. And we're going to talk about how to find Judy. And I am just ready to dive in, Judy, because I know you have so much amazingness to share. And in my time just sharing with you and working with you, I have seen how much heart you put into the work that you do, and I just admire you for that. So, before we get started about talking about all the financial strategies that you share, can you please share your story with our audience today? Your transformational story that we published in the Gifts of Pain book so that everyone knows where this passion came from.
Yes, I would love to. Um, my story is titled From Stress to Blessed,
Yeah.
and here it goes. I was sitting on my bedroom floor, crying, overwhelmed, and afraid. Credit card debt, loans, emergency spending, kids, and household expenses. I didn't realize my finances were spiraling out of control until we were deep into debt, spending next week's paycheck and using our savings to make ends meet. Our crisis was a threat to our financial future and our plans to retire in 5 years. One day I was praying and meditating, looking for answers, and I realized I was so far away from God's biblical principles of managing money and how I hoped to live my life. I cried out, repented, and returned to my loving Father, so I know He forgave and embraced me, like in the prodigal son parable Jesus told. At that moment, I vowed to manage my finances the way God expected. I went back to the foundations of what I knew from years of training and mentorship to create a financial strategy based on biblical principles, which brought peace to my soul. Within 5 years, my husband and I retired and I started my own business. On this journey, I discovered there were 5 steps we can all follow to allow God to turn our finances around. Create a spending plan according to Luke 14:28. Focus on reducing debt, Proverbs 22:7. Spend wisely, Luke 12:15. Save money, 1 Corinthians 16:2, and pay your tithes regularly, Malachi 3:10.
Wow. And now what do you do now?
So I teach women of faith to win in the money game. I help them develop the discipline to be consistent in their money habits so they can break the unproductive money cycle.
Mm. Oh, whew. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are listening and watching right now saying, that is me. That is my
Mhm.
situation. This is where I am. And, I think that all of us can relate to at least one of the elements that were going on. I know I saw myself in one of them. And those unproductive cycles, they're sneaky. They're sneaky. And I'm so glad that you share that painful moment with us, because sometimes we think that we're the only one going through this.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes it's our own doing. Sometimes it's situations that we're put in or left in or tricked into. And so I love so much that I felt so much grace in your story. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for the bravery and the courage to share something like that, especially, you know, that feeling of my dreams are not going to be possible anymore, and grieving not only what you're going through, but also what seems impossible now. That is so deep. And I think that many of us relate to, not only in finances, but also in different areas of our lives where we maybe made a decision that we think is irreversible, and there's no hope for us in that area of life. So thank you for that. Why do you think it's
Mhm.
important to share stories like this? Why is storytelling needed today?
Storytelling is needed today to let people know that there are other people that have walked through what they're going through, or they have come out of what they're going through. I believe it encourages people. I know that as I read through the Gifts of Pain book, I was encouraged by all the stories that I read.
Yeah.
And I think there is a strength in being vulnerable.
Hmm.
So when you tell your story, no matter how bad it may seem,
Mm,
it 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 may seem vulnerable, but it's really courage in my mind. It's
yeah.
really strength in my mind. I know even for myself, I was a little embarrassed that my story was published. And as I read it and as we worked through it, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, wow, I felt embarrassed. But then I felt empowered because other people are going to get to read what happened to me.
Yeah.
I read what happened to other people.
Thank
And that's life, right?
Yeah.
The journeys, the situations, the challenges, the experiences. And it just makes for something beautiful when we can share a story, we can read a story, we connect with a story. I learned through this process how beautiful it really can be.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and thank you for voicing that sense of embarrassment, because I think, we all feel that shame because of the stigma in society that keeps us silenced. And yet, even because you talk to Christians moms who want to prosper and break those cycles, and you work with moms of faith, but even biblically, I mean, there are so many embarrassing stories in the Bible. And and one thing, it's true even of those stories that we read, and is that there's redemption. And you shared about the prodigal son, and all of the different decisions that he made. And if you're not familiar with the prodigal son and you're watching or listening, it's a great parable. And
Mhm.
so, I think that's all of us sometimes, and we come to ourselves, and we come to our Father, and we come to whoever in this life is maybe supportive or helpful or a soft place to land. And we say, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And guess what? People just want to love on us, the
Mhm.
people in our lives. It's not about the embarrassment. And so I love that you mentioned that, because the courage that we have in sharing our story, is a way to empower ourselves. And I loved how you framed it. You went from embarrassment to empowerment just by voicing it and saying, that was me.
Mhm.
And guess what? I learned from it. I think you can learn from yours too.
Yeah.
How amazing that we can be that beacon of hope for others.
Yes, I
Thank you for
agree.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing those 5 steps with us. I introduced you talking about how you provide very tangible,
Hmm.
and it's that accountant in you. It's very practical. It's
Hmm.
very, very grounded and
Hmm.
rooted in reality, but also rooted in the scriptures. And so, why do you think your work is important, and what is it that you do?
So through transformational financial coaching and life coaching, I help women identify what may be the stumbling block or what may be the challenges that they're having with their finances. It may not be, for some, it may be that they just don't know or they don't understand. Some may know and understand, and it just may be time. It's the last thing I want to do every day. So it just gets pushed to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So we recognize and we break those patterns that lead to unwanted money cycles. That was what I
Yeah,
had. I had unwanted money cycles. So we provide a proven money management system to help women reach their financial goals. And in reaching your financial goals, every woman's situation is different. So what works for one may not work for another. So we come up with an individual strategy that will work for the individual woman. And
yeah,
then we help them through those systems manage their finances. So what may happen is that we want to help the women feel more confident in managing their finances, making financial decisions that are aligned with their values. And we work through biblical money principles as it was in the book. Those are
yeah,
biblical money principles, but they're rooted in everyday activities that we do to manage our finances. So through these proven systems, we increase savings, we eliminate debt, we build wealth, and a lasting legacy of
mm.
financial freedom.
Wow. That is a lot. I mean, I think that, that's why I love your system because it's so tangible, but it's also systematic.
Mm.
And it makes sense that everyone with different backgrounds, with
Mm.
different histories, with different current situation,
Mhm.
with different mindset, with different beliefs, but with the same desire to achieve dreams, achieve goals, and get rid of those unwanted cycles, that
Yes.
everyone's gonna need a personalized blueprint for their own life. And I love that you work with women to do that. And what are some of the results that you see? Why is it essential?
It's essential because someone can go, as the title of my story is, from stress to bless. So
Yeah.
we come out of overwhelm, we come out of stress, we come out of uh, maybe being disorganized. We
Mm,
come out of not feeling that we have any hope. Nothing's going to change. These are all things that sometimes we begin to feel. So we just come out of that. And what happens is we feel more joy about life. We feel more confident about our finances. We feel more in alignment that the decisions I'm making is really aligned with my values. It's aligned with what I believe. It's aligned with where I want to go and what I want to do in my life for myself and my family.
yeah.
So that's key because some of us are missing opportunities because of money. But when
Mhm.
we have everything in alignment, when we have a system working and we have things in place, then these dreams and realities can come true. And that's a big thing for me, dreams
Yeah.
and realities. Because we all have dreams. We all
Yes.
have things we want to accomplish. And we don't want money or our financial situation to hold us back.
Oh, I love how life-giving this description is. of joy, of dreams achieved, of potential fulfilled. And yet we've all heard that money is the root of all evil. So how do we reconcile that before we end today?
Well, the best way to reconcile that is that money is the root of all evil if you serve it as a god, if you put money first. So we don't want to put money first, but money is a tool, right? You use a hammer to nail a nail into wood. So money as a tool help us to accomplish the things we need to accomplish in life.
Yeah,
So it's only evil if you put it first, if you serve it, if you raise it up high, then it is the root of all evil. But otherwise, money is a tool and it's something that we need to get somewhere.
I love it. I love it so much. So what would be one step that you hope our audience takes after hearing your story and all about aligning their money with God and with their values? I heard you say that,
Mhm.
and that is absolutely key. So what would be a first step that they can take today?
The first step would be to believe that it's possible. Believe that no matter what financial situation you're in, that it's possible to get better.
Mm, yeah,
And
I
then
love that.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. And I believe that you're working on something that's going to help us believe that is possible. Can you tell us about
Yes,
that?
I'm working on a financial journal. It's 24 weeks and it's going to give you an opportunity to really sit and think about your finances, create a plan, get all of that out of you about how you feel about money, your history with money, and then able to break through your money challenges or whatever's keeping you from managing your money the way you want, the unwanted money cycles, and allow you to really come into a better place and in alignment with your money. So I'm excited about the journal because writing can be therapeutic, eye-opening, and God speaks to us as we write and we meditate. So I'm
Mm,
excited about it.
yeah. Is that something that is part of your routine or something that you used as a tool as you were transforming how you felt and how you acted toward your finances?
Yes, especially at that time, I spent every day talking to God
Mm.
and really thinking about my decisions. And I know that when God embraced me and told me I was forgiven, that he began to give me the strategies because I have the background in financial accountancy and working with money and money management. I have the background. So he just allowed me to use what I already have to align it with him and his word on how to handle my money. And it made all the difference in the world.
Oh, I love that so much. And I think that what you're saying is very eye-opening because many times we come to a situation thinking I should have known better.
Mm,
And I love that you said, I already had the know-how. I already knew how. And so you said that one of the traps that we fall into is, well, I don't have time and
mm.
I'm going to put it off even though I know that I should do it. Are there any other traps that we need to look for when we know what we should be doing, but we just really don't seem to practice what we know to be true?
I think another big trap is keeping up with the world,
Mm.
what the world is buying, what the world wants you to buy, what the world wants you to spend money on. I think that's another trap because it's in our face every day. Um, that's why we have to have values that, security, um, safety, togetherness, family, so that we can make decisions that's going to make us comfortable and secure, that we're not spending. And I'm not saying, I told somebody one time, I'm not giving up my Amazon Prime. So I'm not here to tell you to give up Amazon Prime. I'm not here to tell you what to spend and what to not to spend on. That is each individual's decision. But you know your values, you know what you want to align with. So the key is, the trap is not spending in alignment with your values and where you want to go. What are your goals?
Mhm.
That's the trap, because um, there's so much out there hanging in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
And we want this, and I want that, and I want this, and I want to do this. But you have to make decisions based on what's going to be the best. And I always say, for your family legacy, for your family future.
Wow. That is so powerful. I'm so glad that we got there because I think that it is such a reality to kind of go where everybody's going and to not have a compass for
Mhm.
our lives,
Yeah.
especially financially. So I'm really excited for everyone to check out your content, go to your website, which is christianmomsprosper.com. And also follow you at Judy Mott Butler. And all of this information is going to be in the show notes. But Judy can help you clarify what your values truly are, clarify how to align what you're already doing, what you already know, what you already have
Yeah.
with God's principles, with biblical truth.
Mhm.
And she can help you come up with a game plan that she's not telling you what to do. She's telling you the options that you have, the strategies that you can use, and what is available to you today to transform your life so that you can achieve those goals and have the peace that she talked about. I love how in your story you talk about how you started feeling at peace. And it's not really a state that is forever. It's always a navigation, right? But I think that's definitely a sign, a signpost that we're doing it right is when we feel that peace, when we feel that joy, when we feel that we are a faithful servant is just priceless. And Judy can help you that through her financial coaching. She's also a public speaker. And stay tuned for that journal. I'm going to be sharing it with all of you when it comes out. I'm working with Judy to make sure it gets published. And I can't wait for the whole world to practice these principles so that we can all have a more fulfilling life. And what did you say? A lifelong legacy? A
Yeah. Lasting
lasting,
legacy of
last,
financial freedom.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lasting
Lasting.
legacy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much, Judy,
Thank
for
you,
helping us
Dr.
do that.
Ellen. Yes.
You're
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
I am
Thank
so
you so
grateful
much.
for your time and for
Yes.
all of the insights that you so generously share.
Mhm.
And if you haven't gotten your copy of The Gifts of Pain or read Judy's story, so that you can grab those scriptures and start meditating on them. Thank you so much
Thank
and see
you.
you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Have a blessed day.
You
Bye.
too. See you next time at the Transformational Storytellers show. Bye, everybody. Mwah.